Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. How are you? So today is Thursday. Is the day 320. 320. So a lot has happened, and we just have 40 days ahead to finish this. So a quarantine, strictly a quarantine ahead for this to end. So I guess that we all will have to start to do some kind of detachment from all of this. Of course, that I'm not gonna leave like this and just disappear. We have the Dragon's Path ahead. So of course I'm gonna be connecting every 10 days, every Thursday. So I won't disappear, and of course I will be writing some of the things that might happen. So I will be around. Don't worry. So to wrap the emotional week, today we have the topic of communication. I hope you were able to read the post for today. I guess that if you were able to read the post today, it's very clear where it goes to. So let's see this concept of communication from the inside point of view, which is the inner communication, the interaction, and the other one, the one from outside, which is the media, of course, related to the bigger communication in the world, the outside, and so on. So first of all, let's remember what is communication. The word communication comes from the word com, that means together, many together. Munere, muner, munus, that means to take something, to bring something. Then ikare, that means to transform something. And shion, that means act. So communication is the act, the action of transforming something that was brought with many into together. So we can understand that communication is not only about speaking, it's about connection and transforming something through that connection. So for example, I say something, I share an idea, and I give it to someone by talking, and that someone take that idea and create an answer for it, create something new from it, and give it to me back. And I receive it, so I give it back to the other person. And I keep transforming the concept into something transcendental. This is the way in which we can see, we can understand what communication is. Okay, it's the act of transforming something that is brought from one side to another. So eventually, this word communication turned out to be something that is related to speaking, to sharing stuff. Okay, when it's not necessary to be the word, it's not necessary to be just speaking. It could be anything. So one of the things that take us this communication to our societies is many conflicts, because through communication, through misunderstandings, we have been driven to wars and conflicts and divisions of families and groups and many kind of problems that were just because of misunderstandings, because we had a lack of processing in the information. Like when people take the words as they come and they don't do a process to decode and to understand the words that you're receiving. And that's when we have misunderstandings and conflicts. So for sure you have heard the story of Babel, the story of Babylonia, the civilization that they said that the Tower of Babel fell down because they got into war because everyone was in a conflict, because nobody was speaking the same language, and they were having these mistakes in understanding and these conflicts in trying to communicate to each other. So they couldn't trust each other. That's why they started they started the war. So this story of Babel is something that we can take as an example of how complicated could become the relationship with others if, when we are trying to say something, we are not understood, or we don't become flexible in trying to understand the other one when the other one is speaking, not changing your own point of view. So now the question would be why we arrive to these conflicts of communication. And if we try to see the origin of all of them, we will see that the word behind them is a secret. Why a secret? Because the secret is trying to defend something from others. Is trying to protect an information from others, because they kind of think that the other people can do something wrong with that information. So that's why they start to create their own dialectic, their own language, their own codes, so the others don't get it, don't understand. To protect the knowledge. So I see here that some people, when I was saying about secrets, that was the key of keeping the information, you might say names like Illuminati, the Freemasons, and all these kind of things, but I'm not speaking about them. I'm speaking about something really, really old, very much older than that. That would be just, for example, a person that in the middle of the desert, they find a hole with water. So the people would say, the person should say to the others, I found water. But remember that this was a time where people could kill for water and food. So they started to find different ways to call something, to call this place of water, so just a few, the family, the group, the clan, could know it. So they started to use different words so others couldn't understand them. So that's one of the reasons why many of the languages appears, because they start to relate to each other so they could protect the information from others. So for example, that's how a hole of water might be called a well. Okay, so you don't say water and everyone could say is a well. Okay. You don't have to say a hole of water. So this brings all the languages, and this brings this hermetic conception of languages. So so eventually, individuals, families, clans, groups of people, they started to use these kind of languages so they could protect their own secrets, their own things. So we can see in our common day that you yourself, maybe you use some kind of words to speak with your family, to know what you are talking with your family. Also, you can see in your country, the country has for sure different words. Even if you are speaking the same language, maybe you have in your region some different words that nobody in the same language can understand. So these kind of things are the ones that takes us to see how we, humanity, created something to protect the information. So it was a way to communicate to each other in a group, in a close group, so others don't get what we are saying. Through thousands of years, we have been hiding these truths, these secrets, not only as humans, but it's something really natural. It comes from thousands and millions of years ago, and nature basically is about secrets. Nature tries to keep secrets because our truth is our weakness. That's how nature sees things. So you have to protect that into a lot of things, so nobody could see your weakness, so you can survive. For example, very easy, an owl. An owl has the shape of a tree, of a trunk. So you see the color, you see the shape of the feathers. They look like if they are a part of the tree. The secret of the owl is that the owl is really tiny, and all the feathers look very big, but also they look like the tree. So if an owl would show how tiny it is, and would show how weak it is, and put a lot of colors, an owl would never eat any mice. So nothing. So they would die. So they need to hide their weakness. They need to hide their soft part in order to seem really big and powerful. This is something really useful in nature that helps us survive through thousands of years. Even us, we are here because of this, because we were good on hiding stuff. That's the main reason. But eventually, when we become humans and we start to leave behind the idea of animals, we can transcend and to start to take the truth out, to be able to show our weakness. So this reason of thousands of years that we have been understanding that our weakness can kill us. So we created a whole culture on trying to protect that weakness. So we try to show ourselves like nobody can do anything to me if I show the opposite, if I show that I'm strong, even if inside I'm weak, because whoever was weak could be killed. So that's why we were hiding our truth. And this becomes something cultural. So we started to hide our truth with a lot of lies so we could seem stronger. And that created a culture, a language of hiding things so we can protect the truth with a lot of lies. You understand? I guess it's very important for us to understand this now, because from the biological and historical point of view, we can now understand why the systems, the politics, the religion lie to us, why they hide stuff from us. But much more important is that this helps us also to understand why we hide stuff from our friends, partners, family, our children. Systems lie to us because they are afraid of losing power. We lie to the people we love because we are afraid of losing their love. It never happened to you? Really? So I think that this is very clear, that the reason why we hide stuff, the society hides stuff in all the levels, is because usually are afraid of losing something, of losing life, food, whatever, losing something. It's very animal. It's not even human. It's very from millions of years ago. Very old fears that covers the weakness with a lot of lies in order to protect themselves and survive. There's no one in the world that is lying to us because it's powerful or because wants to control and has a plan for control humanity. No, the reason why people in the systems are lying is because they are afraid of losing the power, because they are so weak that they don't have anything else but this kind of control to survive. And it's important to know also that I just said society, the systems of society, which includes us, is not only something from the ones that are in the higher levels of society. It's us too. We do that all the time. Every day, sometimes. For example, when you walk through in the streets and someone says, "Hey, how are you?" and you say, "Fine." And maybe you are not fine. And you just say it as a defense mechanism. Like, you don't even think about it. It's like, fine. Why? Because your brain says, if I say that I'm wrong, maybe the predators will kill me because they know that I am weak right now. Why not to say, yes, I'm sad today. I'm not very well. When you say that, it's not an invitation for the other one to become your therapist. It's just being sincere. And that's it. I would make a question that sometimes brings some conflicts here. Like, why do we lie to our kids every Christmas? why do we lie to them? Because we want for them to believe in magic, or what? I don't understand. So, for example, I would say this thought to you, like, if it's about illusion and magic, isn't isn't it magical and gives a lot of illusion to think that the celebration is the solstice, that the celebration is that the earth is spinning and a whole turn around the sun is ending, and it's so amazing that we are moving in an invisible line, and suddenly at midnight that day in the solstice it changed everything, and we have to celebrate that we are living another cycle more, and that's why we give some gifts and we celebrate nature and life. Kids can imagine from that. Kids can create stories from that. But to lie and keep alive for years, to hide a truth to kids, why? Culture? So sometimes we say it's a sweet lie. It's something that it's just for kids to have illusion. But I would just say this: the first 7 years of our life determine the 70 years next. So whatever happens in that 7 years will determine our way of thinking, because the neurons absorb all the information around and designed the structure of memory that we will use throughout our life in the first 7 years. So if in those 7 years we have been living through a lie, through different kind of lies, so what can we trust after that? Are we teaching the kids to lie because sometimes it's good? So I'm not saying this because I am blaming anyone or someone because you've been lying to kids. No, I'm saying this in this way for you to understand how big these tiny lies can become. We cannot do anything with this now, because with the past, because of course it was culture. We are not guilty from that. We just came from that culture, and none of us invented that. It just came with us. It was natural. So you don't have to blame yourself for what happened. The only thing that we can do now is to become aware that if we become conscious about all these things, we should not keep doing this just because it's culture. Because we are generating new cultures, new generations of liars, or people that is easy to lie to. So one of the things that, if I become a dad eventually, that I would try to do is to awake this illusion, to show the magic, but not lying. I would show the illusion of knowing how the world works, the sun, the spinning of the earth, the magic of reality. There are so many things that are incredible in this world that can awake the illusion of children, that are amazing. And of course, one of the things that I will try not to do it is to tell to my child all my beliefs, because my beliefs are from my past and there are things that had shaped me as I am, but it could be a burden for the other one. So I would only answer my child if it questioned to me, but not if I want for him to know. And this takes us to remember the conflict of communication. We close our world, hiding the data, the information that makes us feel weak or ashamed. Because what would happen if others could know what I have inside? So they closed, and we don't share, we don't say our inner truth. We keep it for ourselves. So this keeping the things, the secrets, is what brought us to a time in which we have a very huge lack of communication, a lot of problems in communication, because basically we are afraid of sharing what we have within. And sometimes it has been through so many generations that we don't even know where to find them, where to find this truth. So this lack of communication can take us to many problems. And of course, there are some informations that we can take for ourselves because maybe it doesn't make the difference. It's something from my own, and that's it. There's no problem. But some others, they get stuck and they become an illness. And there's a need of saying them to take them out, to be released. Otherwise, it only creates problems outside. So this is like Babel Tower. So many people keeping secrets, protecting their truth, that nobody could understand and trust each other. So at the very tiniest misunderstanding, a whole civilization went down. War. So this conflict of Babel is still here in our current days, in our cultures, in our countries, creating many of the conflicts that we have today, and even in our own families, our own groups. Like, how many of you, for sure, when you started to make some therapy or something like that, you discover so many secrets in your family, so many secrets that that were hidden, and they said this is unspoken. This is why today we have to make so much healing, and we have to go to therapies like to the tree of the family tree to heal disease from through generations, because some of the conflicts that we have today in our life are all related to things that were unspoken in our family, that we would be able to solve very easy if we would know that before, but nobody wanted to speak about that. So this is why one of the challenges that we have towards the future is to be able to share, to tell what we have within, our secrets, our pains, our shames, our sadness, our secrets, our conflicts, everything that we have within. We have to learn how to share it so we can set the others, the new generations, free from that weight. That's what communication means. It's about taking something from me to others to be transformed. So this is why today, in the day of Taurus, we set the intention to improve our communication and to allow everything that we have within to be transformed. The vibration for today is zzz. The statement today is, I am eternal energy. The code today is passion aversion. Related with the adrenal glands and its creative potential in the energies of the sacral chakra, the vibration that emanates moves the creator action, the potency of moving forward and generating this way the positive emotion linked to this vibration, which is passion, that gives a focus and fuel to fall in love with whatever one proposes or does. In its negative aspect, it develops the emotional energy of aversion. This means the total denial of that proposal or realization, trying to escape the creative act, neutralizing it completely. Sit comfortable, close your eyes, and concentrate in your breathing. I take a deep breath and decide to it. I pay attention to every part of my body, from my feet to my head. And with every breathing, I start to move my joints in circles. very softly. I take a deep breath and recognize the energy, the vibration of my soul within that starts to expand throughout my body, coming out from me, from below and above, creating around a huge magnetical field with the shape of an apple, and me, myself, in the center. I recognize that within I can find all the truths that are uncovered, covered within all the lies, all the words that I protect. I become aware of all of them and try to think about those that come out to my mind. I can see all the secrets within me, and I release these secrets towards the torus, the magnetical field, allowing myself to communicate with the information I had within. I allow the secrets and the words to move around, to take their own life from above and below. I allow for everything that was hidden within me to communicate, to speak, to transform within and outside. I take a deep breath and I recognize that there is no need for me to speak my truth to others, to tell what I have inside to the world. That the real goal here is to learn how to communicate with myself, with my own inner self, to take my truth outside of the shades, to stop denying in order to see, to acknowledge. It is here where lies the greatest power of communication, in the communication with myself. This is the only way in which I can transform myself. I can recognize how, as I release my secrets, my shadows, my entire being becomes softer, lighter, free, as it starts to flow. And I start to resound, to activate the eternal energy in me, using as a fuel all those things that I had within stopped, but now flow with my energy. I am eternal energy. I am eternal energy. I am eternal energy. I think, I think, I think. I take a deep breath, and each one at its own time come back here and now. Thank you, everybody, for having accompanied me another week in this path of the I Am. And see you tomorrow at the same time to begin with our physical week of Gemini.